Hey VC, it's Nate again, here after about 2.5 months without an update. In the background, I've got something for Christmas. It's the IKEA replacement for the Expedit, the Calyx, and it's much, much better than the crappy Walmart bookshelves, the flimsy particle board bookshelves that I had before. It holds a lot more. It's a 5x5 and it's nice and it's pretty and holds a lot more records. And anyhow, I've got a lot of vinyl to shoe, as in like 2.5 months worth. It's not like I really went out and bought a whole lot, but after 2.5 months, it really adds up. So let's get started. Black Friday record store day. I didn't get what I wanted at first. I went out. I got there late in the day, and a lot of the stuff had already been sold. But I did get Hendrix Hear My Music, an official bootleg released by the Family. Some good stuff on there. Some 1969 studio recordings. Some stuff that had been released on bootlegs previous to that. I think probably on Black Gold, which I had on CD at one point. I might have it kicking around somewhere. Judas Priest latest album, released in 2014, Redeemer of Souls. I saw them perform last November, and they did a lot of stuff off of that, and I was quite impressed. They have not lost a step, not at all. Madness's first album, One Step Beyond, spectacular. The last video I actually had it was a compilation that I picked up, and there's nothing off of this album on it, so there was no overlap. This is, of course, One Step Beyond. The title track is probably the best known. It's on Let Them Eat vinyl. British import, released in 2009. One of the albums I didn't get on Record Store Day was those two were not Record Store Day releases. They were in the clearance section, and the store that I went to actually had new vinyl. It was like 20% off, so I took an additional discount off of the clearance price, so I scored nicely. This record I wanted, but he had sold out when I got there. But a friend of mine, Martin, from Austin, Texas, came through big time for me with some VCLT, the Big Lebowski soundtrack. Oh yeah, on White Russian colored vinyl. It's great lineup of songs. Sound was pretty decent. There's some surface noise, but other than that, I couldn't complain, really. It's just a great soundtrack from my favorite movie of all time. And Jeff Bridges, John Goodman. If you have not seen it and enjoy the Coen Brothers, I think you would enjoy that very much. Oh, another album that I did not pick up on Record Store Day, but I picked up. It was a Record Store Day release. Velvet Underground Live, 1993. Four record set released by Rhino. Jesus, it's like 60-something bucks. I probably, yeah, I think I spent too much. This is the most I've ever spent on one record, but it was so, to me, there was a lot of sentimental attachment I had to it. I had the 2 CD set when I was in high school, and I played it to death. I loved it. That's the album. That and New York were the 2 albums that really solidified my love for Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground. This was just, and then I first heard this reunion album, and then I went and heard their back catalog, of course. This was released on deep blue vinyl. That's beautiful. Sounds great too. Holy cow. So, yeah, I picked that up in Savannah, Georgia, this past week. My wife and I went out of town, enjoyed ourselves, a little time away from work and home. Let's see, what else do we got? These I picked up at it was like a guitar shop in town, and there's like a tiny little section of vinyl. I'd never gone in there, and I didn't know what they had, so I just walked in and took a peek, and there were a couple things about Roxy Music, Viva. It's from 1976, still sealed. So recorded live at the Apollo in Glasgow, Scotland. $6. I could not leave that behind. Iron Butterfly, heavy, stereo copy. What a great album! Holy cow! Sounded good. Sound on that one was fantastic. This is from Marty Soul, the first international Puerto Rico pop festival in 1969. Didn't go quite as successful. Oh, I'm sorry, 72. My bad. Didn't go quite as successfully as Woodstock. They wanted it to make it a an updated, an international version of Woodstock, but it is kind of riddled with crime. The weather didn't cooperate. There's a gatefold. Some great bands on here, and it sounds great. There's Allman Brothers, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Dr. John, Cactus, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, B.B. King, Herbie Mann. Herbie Mann, you can't go wrong with Herbie Mann. Alright, now these were albums I got at a consignment shop in town, in my hometown. Rainbow on Stage, very, very good album. Of course, this was from 1977 on, was it on Polydor Records? On Oyster Records. Yeah, Polydor. Let's see. UK, Bill Bruford on drums. A couple of Todd Rundgren albums. Initiation. I'm just going to go through these because there's a lot to show. Utopia. Todd Rundgren's Utopia. Another live. Here's a Grail. I showed that I had their album, their second, third, live, and Passages album. And I got the first one, Blood Rock. The cover's in really good shape, even though this is probably the worst back. Well, it's taped up here, but it looks alright. The spine, you can actually read the spine. That's like the worst album art. It's like they threw up their arms and said, their hands and said, fuck it, just release it. Just what kind of effort to it? Anyway, I don't know. It's a really good debut, and it's a rare album. It's not something that you find every day, particularly not in good, not in listenable condition like that. Found Black Flag, slip it in. Found that for $12, sealed. That's the first Black Flag in the collection. Hopefully I will find some more to add to it. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Works, Volume 2. I already have Volume 1. Let's see. Masayoshi Takanaka. It's a gold stamp promo. Got it pretty much as a blind buy. Live at Budokan, Rainbow Goblin Story. It's gold stamp promo. I have no idea. I haven't listened to it. I just got it for the cover. It's very, very pretty. So pretty. Another couple albums that I got. Mirrors, Dick Hyman and the Group. piano and organ music. It's not necessarily some of his Moog music I've shown before, but it's still pretty good. Focus, third album, 2-record set. They just some killer prog. I really like Focus. I've grown to enjoy them immensely. Warren Zevon, the Envoy. Found this for $4. It's a German import. Very cool. I found this Rhino reissue. I want to say it was 2009, or right around there. Violet Femmes' first album. This whole album is spectacular. I got into this album in high school, and I played it to death. I mean, it was just, oh God, from Blister in the Sun to all the way to Good Feeling. The whole thing is spectacular. It's just, I don't think they matched it afterward, but yeah, it's just me. Let's see, I've got a couple more. Somebody in my hometown, where I live here, had put something on Facebook saying that they had, their father had passed away and they had some albums to sell. There's not a whole lot to pick through. I mean, she had a lot, but it was just, a lot of it was water damaged and had been sitting out for a while. I told her I wasn't going to give her much for it, but I think I got them for like 50 cents each. So here's some of the stuff. I'm just going to go quickly through it. Peter Gabriel, So. I had already gotten a copy of it. This is a Soviet pressing. I had gotten at a Atlanta record show. That was last year sometime. Let's see what else. John Prine, German Afternoons. This is some really good stuff. John Prine's what a great songwriter, guitarist. Let's see. Tom Petty, Damn the Torpedoes. One of his first albums from 1979. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's an album I did not have. Pictures at an Exhibition. My first Cure on vinyl. Why Can't I Be You? Japanese Dream 12-inch remix. It's from Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, 1987. Here is a Private Press, a band called Justin, or a performer called named Justin. I don't know. They're from Kentucky. It's on Lemco Records, I suppose. I have no idea. I tried to do some research on the internet about them, and I got nothing. But it's kind of a country folky type stuff. Pretty decent. Hank Williams Jr., the early years, the right-wing lunatic, fringe, raving madman Hank Jr. Some stuff from the early 70s, I think, maybe late 60s. It's on Curb Records, released in 1986. Greg Allman Band, I'm No Angel. Boy, yeah, this stuff sounds pretty dated, actually. This is very 80s. It's not like the Allman Brothers that really, transcends all time and stuff like that. If you want a good laugh, check out the video for I'm No Angel on YouTube. It's very 80s. Yellow Magic Orchestra with Ryuichi Sakamoto. Electronic. Sounds like I was in an Atari game, Atari 2600 video game. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there's a couple of songs called Computer Game, Cosmic Surfing. Interesting stuff. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of electronic music, but That was a fun record. David Bowie from 1987. Never Let Me Down. It's an odd era. One of his odd eras, kind of in the middle of not necessarily commercial stuff. I mean, it was after he released Let's Dance, which was just a huge breakthrough, like a comeback, sort of. Well, not necessarily a comeback because he never went away, but it was that was a huge commercial record. That's it. I got a whole bunch more, but they're all filed away, and 15 minutes I think is enough. So I hope everything's going well for y'all. One of my turntables kind of shit the bed. I think I might have messed with the stylus, and I kind of knocked it loose. I've got to go out and get a new cartridge for that one. Either that, or I'll just get an entirely new turntable. In the meantime, I'm back with the Kenwood linear tracking thing with a shitty factory cartridge, which it's adequate.